Maria, it's an absolute pleasure to speak to you. I'm so curious to hear about your book because we met um, Monday, didn't we, at the Uncovered gig? And you very kindly gave every member of the band a copy of Seven Wonders of the Self. And I've met you a few times and you hadn't really spoke. We've chatted a bit, you hadn't spoken about it. So really just whatever you'd like to say about it. It just looks like a really magical book. I'm really looking forward to reading it. So here's my copy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll
oh,
take
I
one
don't,
as well.
yeah,
Yes.
I don't want it to get lost in there. There we go. Seven Wonders of the Self. And
That's right.
yeah, it's got that beautiful photo, beautiful image of the women. So maybe you'd like to start with the cover actually, because we could only get the top on this morning.
Of course, of course. Yes, actually, the cover is quite special. So the idea of the whole book and the idea of the cover is about you, the reader, connecting with your perfect self. The self that you would like to be together with. It can be your higher self, it can be your inner self, it can be your beautiful self, your creative self. Every person has got somebody that they want to connect to deep inside. So the whole idea, it's like a mirror. So you're looking at the mirror and you're looking straight into yourself, into that copy of yourself that you're aspiring to. And you connect through the energy, and you connect through the energy of your hand. And if you can see here, there is light appearing between the hands. So that's what happens actually when we connect with the hands. It's like
It does?
energy. Immediately, as soon as we touch somebody or something with our hands, that's right, then the channels here open up. And there's beautiful vibration coming from the hands, which is very pure, very loving, very kind. And we can create magical things like that. So the idea of the book and of the whole teaching, I guess, in the book is to remind people of who they are and what they can do already just with the help of their own hands. It's really, really simple. But it just takes a little bit of looking deep within, and it takes a little bit maybe of practice, of sitting with yourself, connecting, and then all the wonders start coming through. That's why I called it the wonders of the self. So it's about connecting to your seven wonders within.
So when you said Seven Wonders, is that because it's a phrase or is that related to the chakras?
Possible. I haven't thought about it, actually. A
Oh,
good idea. It came to me like a dream. So I just saw this book in a dream and it came spiraling from the sky and it said Seven Wonders of the Self. But I've always been fascinated by Seven Wonders of the World. I think it has a very special vibration. Some beautiful creations that people have made in the past, fantastic creations, which always give you these goosebumps feelings, don't they? When you look at
yes.
the Seven Wonders of the World. So I thought, okay, this is a way of presenting the information. This is a way of connecting people. This is a number. I believe there are so many more wonders in each person's body and self. So this is just an example, a journey. So the book is
Mhm.
practical. It has meditations in it. And the idea is that you read the book kind of with your heart. You read it less with the mind, but more through the feeling. So you begin to vibrate. You know, like when you listen to a song, you're a musician, a singer. So when you listen to the song, sometimes you don't really think about it. You just, okay, there is the vibe. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel elevated or sad or anything. So you're becoming that song for that 5 minutes of the song. You're a little bit like it. So the idea behind it is also to become the book or what's written in the book. And it's all kind of based on vibrations, about explaining about high vibrations, low vibrations, how to feel better, how to choose every day and every experience according to the vibration that's good for you, that, you know, meeting people that make you feel great and finding activities that make you feel connected. So it's like a journey, and when you read it, you become it, and then you also do the practical part, and you can explore and discover things about yourself. So that's the whole idea.
Oh, it just sounds amazing. It's a book, but it sounds immersive, like you said, because you're talking and you're dealing with energy. It sounds like, as you've said, you've created the book where it can feel as you're reading it, that it can feel immersive and you can immerse yourself in the energy. And I'm very curious to know, from what you just said about the energy in the day. So, because presumably we do feel different on different days. And so, how would you recommend people work with their energy from day to day? How do you tap into that? Presumably it is in the book, but I'm curious to know, because you can, as somebody that doesn't know that much about it, I'm more curious because as I continue this life, but I suppose my understanding previously would be that there will be meditations. But yeah, on the day-to-day thing, how would you choose what to tap into? Would you have another mantra, or would you choose a particular different meditation?
So there are several things I think to mention. So first of all, it's about observation. Energy is about observation. How do you feel every moment of your life? So you become aware of your energy and your sensations, and you kind of ask yourself a question. Okay, how does this activity make me feel? You know, for example, when you sit on the phone scrolling down, or when you watch TV, or when you meet a creative friend and you talk about the projects that you want to do, how does each of these energies make you feel? So you observe when your vibration goes high. For example, you feel elated, you feel great, you feel drawn to something. This is a sign that this is a choice for you. So, you know, very simple. With people, for example, we'll have different friends, right? And some friends will make us feel like, oh my God, you're running, you're flying to meet your friend. And others make you feel like a bit like, you know, like a bit of the energy maybe slows down, things like that, people in our life. So you can observe and notice, okay, what kind of energy is actually attracting me? Where do I need to step into? And the same, for example, with food, you know, when we choose the diet, we can choose it simply based on vibration. So you go to the shop and you look around and you feel what vegetables are talking to you now.
Oh,
Of course, you don't know, because sometimes we think with the head, we think, okay, we need this, this, this. But if we just let it go and just open our heart and our mind, we look around and maybe there is a shelf which you've never explored before. Maybe there is this new vegetable there looking at you and you just want to connect with it. Your body is just asking for it. So you make a choice in that moment. Or you walk in the park and you pass by the trees and suddenly you look and you feel, oh, this tree looks so wonderful. It's inviting me maybe to go and to touch it or to connect with it. And then you do it on the spot. So, you know, and I mentioned the phone and the TV for a reason, because that lowers our energy down. So when we are too much in the technology, for example, you know, we get distracted about things. So you can observe where your energy gets tired and where your energy just flourishes, and then try to make more choices according to that.
well, yes, you say that. And of course, we all need to be on our phone and we all need to be on our laptops through the day. So what do you recommend around that? Presumably, it there can be some positive exchanges with our electronic devices. What are your what's your advice for people? Because we all use it every day. We use
Of course, now it's like that, and we just have to find our way through it and maneuver our life through it. I guess it's about balancing things and listening to intuition. So when you're doing your work, of course, we need to do work online. We all do this now, but then listening, okay, when it feels like enough, and when it feels like my eyes don't want to take it anymore, or my energy is tired, and then allowing yourself to make a break, maybe to stop, do something else, do something creative. Because if you do something creative immediately after, your energy will again become normal. It will again flourish very well. So it's about listening, I think, to your vibration. But also you can do like energy exercises in between. For example, you can literally clear the energy with your hands. Yes. Like that. Like that. And actually it feels very, very pleasant, because we can clear the vibrations just with the power of our hands, like this. Very simple.
really.
Absolutely, absolutely. So any remnants of, like, for example, technology or any negative thoughts,
Or a couple
vibrations.
of glasses of wine. I had a couple of glasses of wine last night.
Absolutely, yes, as well. As well. Yes. And you just
That's
feel and you follow your hands like this, like a
uh-huh.
dance, very spontaneous. And you notice, okay, whereas maybe there is a bit of heaviness, maybe there is a bit of a vibration, like of a lower kind. And like this, you cleanse, and the arms you cleanse. And this will make you feel 10 minutes of this, you'll feel back on form.
This is lovely. And I actually went to I suppose, yeah, as you said, music and dance. There are the different, so many different things that raise our vibration, and that are not that it's always presumably about raising your vibration. Where are you at with it? From what you've said, it's about intuitively. It's lovely to raise your vibration, of course, but it's intuitively knowing what your body needs and what your spirit needs and what you need and what your energy needs from day to day is what you're saying. Is it's perhaps more about, it may be unrealistic for you to think, or what would you say to that? Or do you think it's always realistic to think in terms of raising your vibration?
I think it's both. So, of course, I don't think we should pressure ourselves too hard in this life in terms of, in all spiritual practices, it's always raise your vibration, which is true. It's true. But there are situations in life we can't. And there are situations in life we get sad, we get upset. We're normal human beings. So I think it's about the balance. It's about listening to yourself and raising vibration when you can. For example, my favorite practice, I really recommend it to everybody. In the morning, when you first wake up, before you start thinking about the day, before you get anxious or nervous or stressed, as we do sometimes, you can just open your eyes. So, for example, you lay in bed and you open your eyes and you imagine that you're inviting a new energy into your life. So you start the day with inviting a vibration. And my favorite vibration, I think, to work with is the vibration of miracles. I really, really love that vibration. It's so, so, so cool. It's a vibration which encompasses love and magic and joy. I think it's all of it, but it's like miracles. When we think of miracles, we feel, oh my God, is this possible? Really, is something good coming to me? So this vibration can be invited. We don't have to wait for it. We can
So
actually call it in.
what would you say? I mean, I invite people to invite a feeling into their week, which I ask, we do something called visions every week. And so I say, what feeling would you like to invite? So I love the idea of miracles. That's not dissimilar in terms of the idea of, yes, welcoming and invoking or something. So with miracles, is it an affirmation that you would say, or what would you do?
Absolutely. So, okay, maybe three things. First, you can channel this energy between your hands. So you can literally connect your hands like this together for some time, your palms. This is very beautiful sensation. It's peaceful, it's relaxing, it's connecting. And after, let's say, a person sits like this for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then you can start imagining how you're tuning into the vibration of miracles. Almost like you're holding them in your hands in this moment right now. So you breathe into your hands and you tune them in like a song, like a guitar. You tune them into the chord that feels miraculous between your hands right now. So it's something like jolly, elevated, magical, maybe sparkles, maybe you can even see energies, feel them really strongly between your hands. And you hold that. So by you creating this in your hands, it becomes real in your life. It's like that. Then we go. So the more you hold it, the more this will be attracted to you by the law of attraction, So when we have a vibration, we attract similar vibrations. So this is like a magnet, if you like. You invite vibration. I really recommend it.
And then do you just kind of just like cream, you put it on your body? Or you hold it is what you're saying, you hold it. That's a gorgeous feeling. And I'm very curious to know, Maria, where did all of this knowledge and this insight, I know that you're talking a lot about the heart and really connecting in with the energy. Where did this, awareness for you, where did it originate? And have you studied it, or was it more like an unfolding over the years?
It's a bit of both. I think I've always been quite sensitive, but I didn't know why. I always felt a bit too much. It was confusing in the beginning because I felt people very strongly and I felt what people were thinking. Many people are like this, by the way, but we're just not taught that in school. We don't know. And of course, in our families as well, we didn't know at the time that sometimes we have these abilities. But then when I was maybe about 12, 13 years ago, I went for Reiki course. So I met a person who was doing Reiki. And as soon as he said he's doing hand healing, I thought, oh my God, like it feels so right. Immediately I connected. I said, I want to do the course. So I started doing Reiki. And through that, to be honest, almost instantly, as soon as I started working with the hands, I felt it. Just like now we're doing, I thought, my God, what is this? I really do have energy between my hands, because before it was more in the head. I wouldn't connect. Once you start practicing, you realize, oh my God, there is a vibration, and I can talk to it, and I can listen to it, and I can create it. And I would just practice and experiment. So I would listen to the feeling in the moment. And if I felt I'm going to go and talk to that tree, and doesn't matter, what people are going to think, I'm going to go and touch that tree and I'm going to feel that vibration, I would do that. Or I feel, okay, I'm going to create an energy ball of orange color, which will fill in my room with this blissful feeling, something like that. And I would practice. And through that, I would learn through actually talking with energy. And that's what I always recommend to my students. Just experiment, practice, try.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. So you're saying it was, it was maybe about 10 years ago or something but it was more realization, and then you followed this, this, what felt like it was always within. And then you, as you said, you're a Reiki master, and you've developed since then. What else was I going to ask you around that? I was going to ask you something very specific then, because some people. I was talking to Terry last week, and she always felt like she had a gift. She has a metaphysical. She's wanting to start. She is starting a metaphysical business. So with you, is it mainly dealing with energy, or do you? Well, I know you speak to you. We chatted about you speaking to trees, which you've kind of alluded to a little bit. So you do a few different things. It's all energy work by the sounds of it, right?
Well, energy is one thing, which has lots of different dimensions in it. We can talk for years. And another thing is regressions. I do past life regressions. It's called QHHT. It's a particular technique, which I learned with the founder called Dolores Cannon. It's actually quite popular now, this technique. It's about connecting to your subconscious. So I help people connect to their subconscious in that state between sleep and awakening, and then seeing their past lives. So it's quite an intense, profound experience. It's different from energy. It involves energy because the subconscious is working with energy while they're healing the person. But I don't actively use hands or anything like that. It's a kind of question-answer technique. So that's the main thing that I do, actually. That's a lot of people come for that because it's a famous technique now.
Oh, right. Okay. So this Seven Wonders of the Self, this is a new, well, something you've been doing for a while, but it's something that you've developed. Oh, right, with the regression. So I've heard of it, but I don't know. Well, yeah, you've spoken a little bit about what it involves. Have you done that for yourself? Was that part of the training?
Absolutely, that was part of the training. Yes, in the
Yeah.
beginning, it was interesting. It's an unusual state. It's almost like you're there and not there at the same time, and you start seeing things, images, pictures. So it's a very interesting technique, and it's fascinating to watch it happening. So people come and they have some questions. For example, they want to know their life purpose, or they want to heal something in their body, or find out about relationships. It's a healing technique. That's the main idea.
Oh, regression, right? I see. It's not just who do you think you are, as in, that's a program on TV about DNA and about history. So it's not just to get insight, it's for healing.
It's the whole idea, yes, of
It's for
healing.
healing.
It's called quantum healing hypnosis technique.
Oh, I
And
see.
Dolores Cannon, she was special in terms of finding this technique of accessing your subconscious and then healing through the subconscious of the person. It's actually very fascinating to hear about it. So let's say a person comes with a problem or something they want to find out. Usually it's a list of questions. And then they lay down, they relax, and we talk to them in a very calm voice and relaxing and asking to visualize different things. And through that, they take a journey into the past. So at some point during the regression, they just look at themselves and they are in a different body, in a different place. I don't know, like a marketplace somewhere in ancient times, for example, or Victorian times, it's very interesting. So, and then we start asking questions. So where are you? What are you doing? Where do you live? And we find out about that story. And the interesting thing is, every story of a regression has a message for that person. So we're doing that in order to help them somehow. For example, maybe in a past life, maybe they've been achieving something very important. Maybe they were a famous writer or an artist. And in this life, maybe they don't have enough confidence to do something. So when they see a life like that, the subconscious is almost showing them, look what you can do. You've done that before. You're very powerful. You can do it again. So after every regression, there is like a message for the person. That's what we're looking for. It's very interesting. There are so many stories. Another popular example, just quickly say, people may be feeling some unexplained feeling in this life. They may be, for example, feeling guilty. They don't know why for the whole life. So in regression, sometimes it might come up that maybe, for example, in Middle Ages, when there was Inquisition and everybody who was practicing healing were prosecuted at the time. So people were put in prison for nothing, for trying to help other people. So that kind of feeling, that trauma can create this feeling of either anxiety of showing yourself or guilty feeling for nothing. So when people go there and see it, then they can release it because they don't need to hold it anymore. And that's the whole idea of regression.
Oh, that sounds so fascinating. And so you've been doing that for a long time. And then, so there's that, and then the regression, and then this has been another side to what you do. And presumably you can combine the two. And we did have a conversation about the talking to the trees, on Monday as well. So for people that are interested, and I've heard before, because of course there is energy from trees. You only have to look at it. I mean, whether you believe in it or knowingly, or you still get. I mean, they emit so much oxygen, so there's no way there couldn't be energy from the trees just at the level of oxygen alone. For any people that are slightly skeptical about anything else, you can't deny that the amount of oxygen that they're releasing for us anyway. What are in terms of the therapy, what do you recommend for somebody that would be new to that? You talked about it previously a little bit, where you just go up to it and get a feel for it, but what would you say?
And from a tree?
Yes.
From a tree? Okay, funnily, we just did a walk today with one of my students, and it was so magical. And we were going through the steps how to do it. So the first step is to observe, to go and, don't have any distractions, just to look around and notice the different vibrations. And ask yourself, how do I feel about this tree? How do I feel about that tree? How do I feel about this plant? And try and connect to kind of the aura of the tree, if you like. What kind of vibration is it emanating? And if you stay for some time in this state, you will notice that some trees are very strong, very powerful, very masculine, they're just grounded into the roots. So you might feel a message that, oh, maybe you can get that strength as well. Maybe you can be rooted as well into the earth. There will be another tree which is more jolly and funny, and the vibration just goes up and high. And you might feel like, oh, I don't need to worry too much in life. I can release my pain, my worry, my anxiety. So the tree will be reminding you to do that.
They show us things.
They show us things. And by you connecting to different trees, you can then compare different vibrations. And that's how you learn. It's like eating an apple, then a banana, then an orange. They all will taste different and will have different healing benefits. Trees. You've got to try different ones to understand. And of course, you can connect to them through the hands. That's how you do it. You just either touch the tree and connect. There is this energy between you and the tree, and it feels super peaceful, very, very nice, releases the stress from the body. Or you can hug the tree if you feel brave enough.
Yeah, I've heard of that. People yes.
You can do that. Or you can just look at it. Even looking at the tree, I know it sounds very simple, but properly looking with your heart, energetically, just allowing the tree to hug you, if you like, in your imagination, that will create a healing effect as well.
And so, yes, and as I said as well, because there is so much oxygen that comes from the trees, but you're saying much more than that, that they all have their particular energies, and they all have healing properties. And so it's again raising this awareness. And are you saying that awareness is that we all have it? It's just that we've forgotten. And is that something that well, not everybody's forgotten, because some people are awake to these feelings. And is this something that that is in your book, really, that it's about that thing of connecting with feelings and energies that we do already have?
That's the whole idea. Is I believe that absolutely everybody is powerful and absolutely everybody can connect. I do believe that sometimes it's an instant of just remembering, because it's all about remembering, isn't it? It's all about remembering where we're from, what kind of energy we have as a soul. When we remember, it feels so much better. And yes, everybody can develop it. Some people just maybe need a little bit more time to get used to the fact that they can feel, and a bit more trust. Trust is very important, because people sometimes don't trust themselves. They feel, oh, no, I don't feel anything. No, it's difficult. It's not for me. But just give it a chance. Give it a chance and see what happens. And whatever comes to your mind at the time, one word, maybe you feel love or joy, it's already powerful. You don't have to create, big words about it. You don't have to feel a lot. Even if you feel a little bit better, you've done very well. So I think it's about supporting yourself on this journey as well, and knowing that you are powerful, knowing that you have gifts. Like today, we were talking to a tree. It was so funny, to be honest. We were with my student, we were just talking to this massive tree, like this, standing. And I could hear people passing by, and sometimes we look, and people walk and they're shocked to see us doing it, because nobody does it in the park. All sorts of things. People,
I bet people instinctively would love to, though, because we get the feelings, don't we, when we're in nature. So it's lovely for them to see that in you. So yeah, what happened?
It was very funny. First, there was a couple passing by, like a very beautiful, well-dressed couple, and they were walking, and then they also stopped, but they were doing it in their own way. They were saying, oh, look at these branches. Suddenly they stopped discussing also the branches of the tree. It was so funny, because they were doing kind of what we were doing, but in a different way. And then there was a dog. All of a sudden, a dog came in, and it just looked so real, like the dog felt what we were doing. It came and started sitting next to us and looking around. It almost felt like the whole universe connected, like in some sort of portal at that moment. It actually is magical. And yes, I feel very touched and very unbelievably quick connection to the universe through nature. So I think if we all start doing that, we will ascend like very quickly.
Oh, this is fabulous. It's so lovely to meet you and hear everything about all of the energy work and the healing work that you do, Maria. I'm looking at this, the body speaks, just at some of these headings: intuition and the conscious mind, practice time, meeting your heart, mind, and intuition. How does the body speak? It's better to listen earlier than later. How can we quiet the mind? Practicing time and listening to the body. I could keep. These are just some of the headings from the chapters. So I think I'm really looking forward to reading this, and I really want to wish you so much love and all the very, very best with this beautiful book. Thank you for my individual copy, and enjoy your book launch. You're having a book launch this evening, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. It's going to be
Yeah,
fun.
this is so exciting. It's an absolute joy to meet you, and thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat about your book. And I wish you so much success with it. And everybody, keep it in mind and get a copy. How easy is it to get a copy, by the way?
It's very easy. It's everywhere online. You can find it, and Waterstones, yes, and Amazon, everywhere. Yeah, you can just find it very easy. I just want to quickly say to everybody who's watching it, I just want to say that you can use an affirmation during the day, like choose your own affirmation. For example, I'm the queen of miracles. That's my latest favorite one. Or I'm the king of miracles. And use it every day and hold this affirmation for the day, and just kind of share it with your space and share it with your body. And if you repeat it several times during the day, inevitably miracles will come to you. This is guaranteed. So I just want
Thank you for ending with that. I won't say one more word so people remember. Thank you, Maria. Absolute joy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Anna. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.